Right, TM Warrior Nation, Lady Cherokee Nation, and the surrounding areas. Welcome to Thursday TM podcast. So we're Thursday afternoon, evening, and tonight we're going to be talking about Toloso Midway Sports. So we start off today with our first podcast here, and then we'll have a few. We'll have Coach Garcia and the basketball scheduled for 7 p.m. And we're starting something new. We're bringing in new programs here on Thursday for Toloso Midway. Hopefully, we can get the softball here involved in about a week or two. But for this afternoon, we do have the head coach here for the Toloso Midway Warrior Baseball, and that's Coach JK Moody. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir, Coach. Thank you for saying yes to the invitation. We've been following this program, or I have, for the last 2 years. It's a great program in a great tough district. And there's just going to be a district that even people outside of Toloso Midway in the surrounding areas are going to be interested. It's going to be some good baseball. That's the feeling that I'm getting. And so we have invited Coach Moody for the first time to come out to the podcast to talk about his program this year, the players, and we're hoping to stream some of the games. I've talked to Coach Moody about catching some games, streaming them on the Tri Sports Network on our YouTube channel. And then every week, Coach, when he's available, will come on a Thursday. Sometimes maybe we'll switch it to another day because the tournament play. But definitely, we hope that the community will support this podcast, support the baseball, and share it in the podcast. And obviously, if you cannot make the game, you can definitely support the Tulsa Midway Warriors through the live stream here on the Tribe Sports Network. That'll be on our YouTube channel when we stream it. So, Coach, again, thank you for coming out. Looking forward to meeting some of the players as we continue with the podcast. But for today, I've got a few questions for you, not too many. And as we continue to go and the season starts, we'll talk about players' performance and stats and so forth. But for today, I'd like to start off with just giving you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the community. Who is Coach Moody? How long have you been coaching in Toloso Midway? How long have you been coaching baseball? And are you from this area?
Okay, first I'd like to say thanks for having me on and spotlighting our program. Best of luck to Coach De Leon and our Cherokees. They're in Brenham this week in a tournament. They play today, Friday and Saturday. Also, congratulations on their first victory of the season on Tuesday. And then congratulations to our Cherokees and Warriors for winning district championship in basketball, Coach Bueno and Coach Garcia. So hats off to those guys and to their players. Uh, and then myself, this is my third year here at TM, third year as the head coach, 16th year as a baseball coach in the state of Texas, and really enjoy TM, enjoy the administration, enjoying our new athletic director, James Villarreal, and, just excited to be a Warrior.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to bring the superintendent Van Mate, Steve, on, and man, I really love. I hope to have him on soon again because maybe we can get him on during a baseball
Absolutely.
podcast. Yeah, he loved it. I was told he loves sports, and the time that we brought him in with Coach Burial, man, he was a lot of fun. So definitely, hopefully, we can invite him back, and if he has time, he'll join in. It's always a lot of fun when the superintendent comes on. Um, so the next thing is, Coach. Obviously, you built a great culture there, foundation, Toloso Midway. People know the baseball program. When the season starts, everybody knows when you talk about the top programs here, Toloso Midway is mentioned. They talk about how good the program and teams want to play them. They want to know, they want to get better. So with that, it starts with you, but you've got to have some great assistants. Obviously, every good program does. Who's on the staff as your assistants for the 2025 season?
We have our pitching coach, Jesus Vela. He handles all of our pitchers and catchers for the program. Then we have Hunter Wetzel, and it's Coach Vela's second year with the program. Coach Wetzel's second year with the program as well. Coach Wetzel handles our hitters and our outfielders. Then we have Brandon Gonzalez, and it's his first year in the program, but not his first year here at TM. He's been here, but first year coaching baseball with us, and he's kind of a Swiss Army knife, does a lot of different things for us, and will head up our JV programs.
Awesome. And wow, those coaches, so they're kind of new. They haven't been here for a very long time. So that says a lot about the program, and it says a lot about the players that we have there at Toloso Midway. And now talking about the players, coach, if you have it said, I'd like to have you introduce the 2025 Toloso Midway Warrior varsity baseball team.
Okay, we have Patricio Acosta. Actually, let me start in numerical order. First, we'll have Jace Arriaga. He's a junior. Patricio Acosta, he's a junior. Landon Ford, he's a senior. Emmanuel Reyes, a senior. Ryan Cantu, he's a senior as well. Eric Flores, a senior. Osby Monteo, he's a senior as well. Max Lotta is a senior. Caleb Cantu, a sophomore. Jackson Hermes, he's a junior. Darren Barrera, he's a senior. Christian Ramon, he's a senior. Ethan Cantu, a sophomore. Christopher Franco, he's a senior. Ezekiel Leos, he's a senior. Zach Morales, he's a junior. Richard Sanchez Jr., he's a junior. Jaden Smith, he's a junior as well. And Carlos Trevino, he's a freshman. And Israel Benavides, he's a senior. And that's the set roster for right now. We have a few other guys that are getting varsity time in scrimmages and trying to fight their way onto that roster in hopes of going to our tournament play.
Absolutely. That's great, coach. It's a couple guys will be coming back. Always interested when a coach talks about a freshman. So hopefully down the road we'll talk about the freshmen, these younger guys, and kind of hit some points and bring up the freshmen because that's always the future. So this year, so obviously, we want to get as many of the seniors recognized as possible. They will not return next year after graduation, but at the same
Unfortunately, not.
time, right, right. If you could keep them like, oh, that would be great, wouldn't it?
That'd be
But
awesome.
it would be awesome. But coach, I always talk about the freshmen and the other levels because I think it shows the future, right? What we're doing at those levels to keep Toloso Midway competitive because we've been good. I mean, the baseball team, like I said, when you talk around baseball programs in the coastal Bend area, Toloso Midway's mentioned. They're no longer not, they're mentioned with the Robsdowns, with the Sintons, with the Cal Allens, which makes it great in the coastal Bend area. The more teams that London that get deep in the playoffs and into those state title games, the better. And there's a lot of teams here in the coastal Bend area, so that's really good for us down here. Coach, I was taking a look last year at the Toloso Midway team. So congratulations, first time talking to me. But they were district champs last year in a very tough competitive district. Robstown's in there. They've got a new coach out there now, and then Cal Allen's in there. That's always a battle. Cal Allen's ranked this year again. So to be able to win district title right out says a lot about this program last year and what we're building this year. You split the series with Robstown and Cal Allen, I believe, last year as well. So that tells me a lot about the battles. But you go with three deep in the playoffs, third round in the playoffs, and then take the L2 Bishop. With all that being said, this year, what is your expectations with the players that you've got returning back from that playoff team last year, and the kids that are moving up? What early on is your expectations? What can you tell us about how good this team is this year?
Well, first off, hats off to last year's team winning the first ever district title here and breaking the school record for wins with 30. They set the bar really high for this year's team, and this year's team is, there's several holdovers from last year, meaning returning guys. We have 12 varsity lettermen that are returning from last year's team, and all 30 wins on the mound are back from last year's team, which is really, really important when it comes down to playing the game of baseball, is having good quality depth on the mound. So we're excited about that. But this year's program team is completely different from last year's team in terms of different goals. Some of the same goals that we didn't achieve last year, the guys want to accomplish this year. But every year is a new opportunity for players coming up from JV, from either one of our JV teams, gold or maroon, or guys that maybe split some time on varsity. and running a huge role, or guys that are returning, trying to fight for their positions, trying to earn them back from last year. So the expectation will always be to make a deep playoff run, always win a district title, and just keep on setting the bar even higher for the next season. But we have great expectations. So do our players. So does the community. And we're just excited to get things started on Monday of next week.
Yeah, it's great. Like I said earlier, I took a tour of the baseball field. That's a beautiful baseball field out there. I think it's turf. I think I remember I
Yes,
saw.
sir.
So when I went in, I told Coach Barrio, wow, this is awesome. And I also saw the softball field as well, right across.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. The whole school out there is nice. We competed with Toloso Midway when I was in school. That was way back in the 90s. But to be able to go out there is just a beautiful place. And I just called Coach Barrio one day and said, Coach, I'd like to go out there and invite you to the podcast. I've always known there was talent out there.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
and when I got the opportunity to have more time, I said, man, I'm going to see if I can go out there and do some podcasting. And they allowed me to. So I'm great to be able to do this. And now we're talking baseball. We're looking forward to a great season here for the Toloso Midway Warriors. And Coach, I like to start off when we talked about the positions. To me, I feel pitching is the most important to me when we talk baseball. It's like the quarterback for football. And so talk to us a little bit about, I know you said you have a lot of those returns, if not all, coming back from a third round playoff team, a team that won 30 games. Talk to us a little bit about the pitching guys, staff that we have coming back this year and how special they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're really special. And they have a really good pitching coach in Coach Vela that we're able to bring over from Corpus Christi Vets last year with Coach Villarreal, and someone that I've known for over my half of my adult life. I've known him for over 20 years, Coach Vela. So, there's a strong level of trust there. And he has, a stable of guys to run out there any given night. We have the district co-MVP. He also made Team Texas last year, was an all-state player, and Max Lotta. He's a senior. He's coming back with a 6-1 record from last year and threw 72 innings for us. And another senior, Osby Ventelo, he threw 63 innings for us last year, was 8-1 with one save. We have a junior, Patricio Acosta. Everyone knows him as Pat. Threw 33 innings last year for us, was 4-2. Um, all three of these guys were first team all district pitchers for us within the district. We also have returning Jaden Smith, who's a junior. He's a lefty on the mound. He threw 24 innings for us, mainly out of relief. He's going to start some for us this year, but we're still trying to see where he's going to fit in just because he does so well in high leverage situations late in the game. He went 3-0 for us last year with 7 saves. So we like to bring him in later on in games, but he'll get starts early. Another senior, Emmanuel Reyes. He threw 15 innings for us last year, was 2-2 on the mound for us. He's another guy that can run it well over 90 on the mound for us from the right side. And once again, those two guys were both all district performers in the past. Jaden Smith was an all-state reliever, in the state of Texas as well, the lefty. And then rounding out the returners is another senior lefty, Israel Benavides. He went 2-0 for us last year on the mound with 1 save. So we have, like I said, all 30 wins back. We're excited about it. And then we also have a young group of guys that some of them threw really, really well on the JV level last year. Our JV team won over 20 games last year. And those guys are moving up in the program to the varsity level. And then we have a couple of really talented freshmen. Our freshman class is super talented in terms of playing the game of baseball. So we're excited for some of those kids to get opportunities as well. And then we had a few other kids that moved in that pitch as well. So they're going to get an opportunity at the varsity level.
Coach, you are loaded with pitching, aren't you? That's why we won 30 games last
Knock
year.
knock on wood. It's It's going to come down to someone asked me the question. I think the TM TV, they do interviews, and actually Jaden Smith did the interview and Patricio Acosta, and they said, what's the outlook for the season? And I said, as long as you guys can stay healthy, man, guys like you, we need the arms, so and we do a really good job of taking care of our arms, not throwing them too much too early, but also having them ready when it's time to ramp it up as we move throughout the schedule and throughout to district play. So health is a major factor for any program, but for us in particular, we just want to make sure our guys stay healthy and their arms are ready to go when it matters most.
Yeah, it seems like all these guys played such an important role last year for the 30 win, the deep playoff run, and obviously injuries that they're part of the game, but
Yes,
hope
sir.
we won't have any of that to our players this year. Hopefully, we'll stay injury free throughout the long baseball season. That's the thing with baseball; it's just they play so much baseball, right? With the
Oh yeah.
tournament, you play like God. I think it's over 30 something games when you include
We
them.
play 32 this year on our schedule is 32 before the playoffs.
Wow.
Well, that's a lot of baseball condensed in a short amount of time. So, and all these guys are two-way guys too, meaning they play a secondary position and
Mhm.
some of them play a third position. So they're playing every day, every other day, and also hopping up there on the mound, and throwing as well, pitching.
Yeah, I think that's what people don't realize when you pitch, right? Like, and then you don't pitch like you pitch Tuesday and don't pitch Friday. That don't mean you're sitting down like the pros and you're resting.
Yeah.
You're going out there and you're hitting. So that is a lot of baseball. So coaches really got to, and players really got to watch. Coaches watching their players to make sure that they don't injure themselves. That we have them for the full season. But coach, I'm telling you, just listening to you talk, I'm excited. I've watched this district through a afar. I'm from Rockport, and so we played Robstown, and those battles have been good. But now to look at Robstown with a new coach, Cal Allen out there, and now Toloso Midway, man, I don't think there's a district in this area that's better than what you guys are in right now, right? So to play each other twice at their place and our place, and to be a part of that, man, that's exciting. I'm already ready to go right now. I'd pack my stuff and go out to Toloso Midway and stream a game today.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's tough. It's a tough district, and that's what the kids want, and that's what you should want. That's what you should want your players to want every day to be a battle, and that's what it is. I mean, there's great coaches in this district. You left off Zapata; they're coming back into the district, and Zapata upset us 3 seasons ago. My first year here in the first round with a bunch of young players, and all those kids are juniors and seniors now. So they're really talented as well. Then you have Kingsville that's up,
mhm.
coming up with their two new coaches, two co-head coaches that took over last year. They're making a lot of really good changes in the program and making strides to be a better program. So, but yeah, you wouldn't want anything less. That's why my family and I moved back down to South Texas, to be around family and then just the baseball. The baseball is second to none in the whole entire state.
That's true. That is very, very true. We've got some great coaches here, and baseball is high. It's great, and I think every year it's just getting better. And I think
Oh
other
yeah.
teams that are, right there average want to play. I see a lot of teams wanting to play. I know we play Toloso Midway. We've been playing you guys for the last couple of years, and I'm
Yes, sir.
Coach Elizondo. What are you doing, Coach? Hey man, hey look, we want to be good. We've got to go out and play the best. We've got to learn.
Coach Elizondo gave me my first opportunity. Him and Coach Hesseltine at Ingleside. I was Coach Elizondo's assistant for 3 years there at Ingleside when Coach Hesseltine was the AD. So me and Tootie go way back.
Oh
So
man, Tootie is great. We were sad to see him go here in Rockport. I did everything I could. I mean, I knew why he was going, but we were desperately trying to say, look, coach, you got to stay. But I
yeah,
understood the family comes first, and he had to make that decision. And he actually texted me right as I saw it breaking news. He texted me, said, "Man, give me a call when you get a chance." And so I knew, but. Yeah, he became a good friend. He started off as a coach. I knew him there, did some great things for the program here in Rockport, but then it became a great friend. And every time I see him, I make sure that I go out and say hello to him. So definitely a shout out to Coach Elizondo. Yeah,
absolutely.
checking this out later on. But coach, I'm excited. I think the fans here at in this area are going to watch it. I think it's great for the district, and I think when teams play each other, like you're talking about, Zapata and Kingsville play each other twice. My goodness, this district is going to be good. But we've got a lot of non-district. Before we get into that district is still down the road. Got a lot of
Yes, sir.
non-district tournaments to play. Coach, the other thing I wanted to ask you was to talk about the other levels. Like I said, these freshman and junior varsity teams are the future. Some of them will be up, like Coach is talking about, got a freshman playing, but in the next year or two, these guys will be up there playing for varsity. So we definitely also want to talk about them in the podcast. What do the numbers look like? They're Tolosa Midway, a bigger school than what I'm accustomed to covering. What are the numbers, Coach, as far as in the baseball program this year? And then talk a little bit about, our junior varsity and our freshman teams.
We have 46 in the program, and a lot of those guys are. It's kind of split. The dual athletes, baseball only players. So we have a variety of different athletes. Guys that are trying to run that are running track and playing baseball, and then some that are playing basketball, playing baseball. So it's a juggle for our kids, but we're excited about our numbers, and hope to continue to grow it. But that's normally where we try to keep the numbers somewhere in that range, because we have two JV teams. We have a JV Gold and a JV Maroon on top of the varsity. So with our JV Gold and Maroon, we try to keep the numbers, anywhere from 12 to maybe 14, just so those kids get to play every single day, and those kids you get to maximize their reps, in game, and then in practice as well, just so they keep the love and the fire and the passion for the game and want to come back, day in and day out and year after year. And then hopefully they work their way all the way to the varsity ranks. So we, like I said, 46 kids within the program, running two JV teams, and we treat it kind of like a minor league system, is what we've told our parents in the past, meaning, you can go from gold to maroon one week, then go to varsity, and then you could be on varsity and work your way. You can go be sent down to maroon or to gold to get more reps, get more ABs, more innings on the mound. It's ultimately it's about the kids getting reps, getting to, not only reps in practice, but the game's the fun stuff. Every kid wants to play in a game, so it's trying to maximize their opportunities in playing in live action against other teams. So, we like to model it after, the minor league system, just, so players have something to strive for, that, hey, I may have started on this team, but I want to end up here, and then same thing, you may start on varsity. I want to stay here, and I want to fight for that spot. So, there's a good amount of healthy competition that goes on within our program based off those three teams.
Well, Coach, it's working. It's working for you. I mean, you're winning a lot of games. You're winning district titles, and so the system that you put in place obviously is working. Kids are buying in. I'm sure the community buys in, and so I'm excited about going out there and streaming the first game and seeing what it's like all in Tolosa Midway. Never been out there to stream a baseball game, so definitely looking forward to that. Coach, with the junior varsity, the two JV teams, do they play consistently? Is it easy to find games for them with the schools, or is that something that's kind of difficult? Because in other programs, I hear coaches saying sometimes it's a little hard. Is it? Do you guys face the same thing, or is it a little easier there at Tolosa Midway?
It is hard. It was hard to find varsity games this year. To be honest with you, we had, we dropped down to that, 5-team district. So you got 8 district games, and then you're trying to maximize your schedule. You're trying to find a bunch of teams to play. But the flip side of that is, the Sinton district, Beeville district, Rockport district, they're all in the same boat. So we're fortunate enough to get to play those guys, in non-district play with our varsity and our JV. And then of course with CCISD, they didn't zone these next 2 years, meaning they're just, they're all lumped into one. So Normally you could have more of the CCISD district to play, but we did pick up three different teams from CCISD, and they're going to play us across the board as well. They're going to play us everywhere from varsity all the way down to JV Maroon and JV Gold. So it can be a battle. This year was a little bit tougher. Probably one of the toughest years I've had in terms of trying to find games just across the board, just due to the district and some of the districts around us. But that's something that's out of our control. But luckily, the coaches in the area, I mean, they all want to play us. We want to play them. So we're able to fill our schedule for all three teams.
Awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad because playing time is what they need. Obviously, at the JV and those sub varsities, you definitely. That's what I hear coaches say is we just want to play. They got to play.
Yeah, they want to play games. I mean, you don't just want to practice. I mean, practice is fun in its own right, but you want to get out there and play 7 innings against another team, someone that's not your classmate or someone that you see in practice every single day, and you want to compete with your teammates, against someone else. So, yeah, trying to maximize the games that they play it's really important. It's important to all the coaches that I've talked to in the area. They're doing their best too, but sometimes just the logistics of things don't work out in terms of teams that have stuff open. But for us, it worked out this year, and we agreed with the other teams that we're going to keep these schedules for the next 2 years until realignment. So just because everyone, like I said, is in the same boat for the most part in this general area.
That's good. Well, I tell you, we're going to be talking a lot. So I'm talking to the community of Toloso Midway and anyone else that's watching this podcast. Coach Moody's going to come on every week when he's available. For the next couple of games, though, we probably will not have him on Thursdays. We're going to look to another day because of the tournament play. He has to obviously be with the team on Thursday. So Thursdays did not work more for the probably the next couple of weeks, a month or so. So we are going to move the podcast during that time to another day, and I'll post it here on the Tri Sports Network to let you know date and time. But he is scheduled to come on every week when he's available, and then once we get into out of tournaments, we'll go back to Thursdays. But we definitely would ask the community to support the podcast, like it if you do, and share it to your timeline to some people. Let's get more eyes on this podcast. Also, we're going to be streaming some of the games, as many as we can, because this is about recognizing this great program that we have here and the players. We focus a lot on the players, their performance, and hopefully Coach Moody can bring some of his players on and we can introduce them to the community and surrounding areas. So, Coach, I'm excited about the podcast and you coming on when you're available every week to talk more about your program, players that'll be coming in to interview them, to recognize them and introduce them to the surrounding areas in the community of Toloso Midway. And then we look for all the fans to come out, especially at the home games. I mean, this is a team that has done some great things. And from talking to Coach and hearing Coach on this podcast, the expectation is the same and it's even higher to reach some of the goals that were not reached last year. So, I mean, yeah, last year. So, again, we ask the community to come on now. Your support is valuable to the team and the school. So we hope we'll get a big crowd. Coach, I've never been there. How is the crowd out there? Do you guys fill up the stands out there? It's a pretty big stadium there.
We fill it up, especially whenever you're talking about playing district games. You talk about playing the team from across the street. I won't mention them.
Yeah.
And you talk about playing Robstown. They'll come. Funny story. My first year here, we were down. I think it was 7-0, and we came back and we hit a grand slam, and the Max Lotta hit a grand slam in the I want to say like the fifth, something like that. Tighten the game up. They hit a home run, Robstown to take the lead again, and then senior Mikey Garza, who graduated that year, hit a walk-off home run, and had a coach from another school district that lives in our school district, and he said I could hear it at my house. I could hear the screaming. He lives about 2 blocks. He said, could hear the screaming. I could hear the shouting. He said, I was wondering what was going on over there. But it's electric, and we try to make it fun for our fans and for our players. And, We want as many people as we can there supporting our guys, and we try to get our guys to go support all the other athletic events and uh, other events that's going on for their classmates. So hopefully they'll come out and support us, and they do. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty loud, especially when those district games happen.
And I'm excited, Coach. I really am to just to be able to see the games. Like I said, I've just seen them from afar the last couple of years. I haven't attended one of the games in this district. Just read about it on social media and hear people talk about it. So to be able to go this year now and be part of it and see this district and see this team play. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I've gotten to know some of the coaches, Coach B from the girls basketball, Coach Garcia, who's scheduled to come on at 7 to talk about his boys. Coach Chapa and volleyball and some of the girls that were there, very, very talented players and a good coach. And then talking to Coach Viriel and I've known Coach Vela for a couple of years now. Um, Great
Yeah, he
coach.
was at Rockport with Tootie.
Yeah,
So
he was out there. So we knew Isaiah and
Javi.
Javi, both of them played there. I'll tell you a quick story. When they left, when he left, I was like, what's going on here? Because I watched them coach when they were freshmen. Judy had them on varsity when they were freshmen. I went to go see a tournament, and these boys were freshmen with a Cyber, Jason, and
Yeah.
a couple of others. They had about Gibson. They were like about 5 freshmen. Went to go see him at a tournament. These boys balled out, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, they're just freshmen, so we're gonna be good." Then Ace leaves, and then Hobby leaves, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, what's going on?" I said, "Yeah, we got a better opportunity, so we left." So it was hard when those boys left, but yeah, we knew them when they were young, so it was great. So I've known Coach Bella for quite some time when he was here in Rockport. But the coach, I mean, he did a great job when he was here. I'm sure he's doing a great job for you out there. And I look forward to Toloso Midway, watching them play. And like I said, our part here was just a small part of consistently recognizing this program by giving the coach an opportunity every week to talk about his program and let the community know what's going on. And then recognizing the players and then streaming the game. So our goal there is to bundle this whole thing up for every sport. We're starting off slow, but we're going to pick up some speed here with baseball and softball, and hopefully that'll carry on over to next year. To the fall sports. So, Coach, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate your time. I'll text you about next week and see if we can get you on Wednesday. Coaches for the next couple of weeks will be scheduled on Wednesday. And once we find out a time that works for him, I'll let you guys know here on the Tribe Sports Network on our Facebook and Twitter page. Coach, before I let you go, I'll give you the final word. Anything you want to add before we say goodbye?
I just also want to wish Coach Alanice, she's a good friend of mine here in the swim team. They're at the state meet. They're swimming today and tomorrow. So that's also someone you might want to try to reach out to. Talk about her kids, a state recognized swim program, and a good friend of mine. Just wish them luck at the state tournament. And just to all the fans, please come out and watch, support our kids. We got great kids, got great administration here at TM, and we have a great tradition going on.
Coach, who's the head softball coach?
Coach De Leon.
Coach DeLeon. Okay, so I definitely will reach out by email this afternoon as soon as I
And
get
they're
off.
in Brenham right now playing in a tournament. So
Yeah, I'll send an email just so we can get the ball rolling and getting them on here as well. And the swim team, the coaches, who's the head coach?
Coach Alanice, Anna
Alanis.
Alanice.
Okay, so I'll definitely reach out to them. Coach, thank you very much. I definitely agree. The coaches that I met at Tolosa Midway, man, they're great. And I haven't had one tell me they're not going to come on. So when you get the superintendent and athletic director, I think everybody else is say we're game too. So but it's been great. We have a lot of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to having you on the podcast for the next couple of months throughout the baseball season, and looking forward to talking about the players. And hopefully, when it's all said and done, we'll win another district title and go deep in the playoffs.
That's the plan, sir.
Yes, sir, Coach. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.